Hi everybody and welcome to another Alfa Nut video. Now if you're new to the Alfa Nut channel, then I really hope you enjoy it and that you consider subscribing. If you're already a subscriber, then please don't forget to hit the like button and leave me a comment in the section below to let me know what you think. Now I'm also really pleased to announce that I'm working on a new Alfa Nut headquarters, which I'm preparing with the help of my friend Gary Fisher from totallyalpha.com. Now this is going to give me a clean and secure base to work from, and it'll also allow me to keep all of my cars under one roof, all my spares as well. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm looking forward to showing it all off to you when it's finished. Now today I'd like to feature an Alfa Romeo which I've actually never driven before, and which deserves a lot of credit for being one of the marque's most successful models, and it helped Alfa to re-establish the brand in the hearts and minds of a whole new generation, who were probably too young to have driven an Alfa Sud, a 164 or a 156. Now this new breed of customer didn't want to settle for a Vectra or a Mondeo in hearing aid beige, or the company car park humiliation of an early Kia, or any of the other anonymous four-wheel boxes of the era. No, they wanted something achingly stylish and modern, with a profile as sharp as a pair of Gucci scissors, and aggressive styling cues which the vanilla-flavoured competition could only really dream about. Enter the beautiful 159. Keep watching folks, because this is the first in a series of 3 videos about the 159, and I'll also be introducing a new regular feature at the end of this video which is called the Nut Roast. So stick around and see what that's all about. So back in 2005, several important events happened. The first ever video was uploaded to YouTube, entitled Me at the Zoo. Spoiler alert, it's not very good. Aston Martin launched the V8 Vantage, the first Aston which non-millionaires could aspire to. The newly unveiled Bugatti Veyron hypercar blows the entire world into the weeds with a game-changing top speed of 252 miles per hour. And frankly, more bling than Mr. T's necklace collection. Yeah, that's right. But for all of us non-billionaires, there was an even more important event that year, when Alfa Romeo unveiled the beautiful new 159 saloon at the Geneva Motor Show. So the 159 is celebrating its 15th birthday this very month. Yay! There was an impressive range of engines to choose from. The petrol-powered 4-cylinder versions included a 1.8, a 1.9 and a 2.2 litre, and also the newly developed GM-derived 3.2 litre V6. Apparently the 1.8 and 1.9 petrol engine versions were pretty rare, and according to my sources, not that good. Diesel engines included the hugely popular 1.9, the 5-cylinder 2.4 which was more sporty, and also the later 2 litre, all jtdms of course. So, you could choose either a Lusso, you could choose a Turismo, or you could choose a Turismo Internazionale, the TI version, which was also modified, let's say, into a Quantum of Solace limited edition version, which was released after the baddies in the 2008 James Bond film chose the 159 Ti as their chase vehicle of choice. Now unfortunately I'm sorry to say that the 159, along with the Brera, didn't get released in North America again, much to the annoyance of our North American Alfisti brothers and sisters. Hi America, how's it going? I sincerely hope that you'll get access to all the new Alfas now that FCA are in charge. So, my first drive in a 159, and I'm hoping that the weather might give me a little bit of respite, because it's been really bad. It's been really bad. Basically, it helps if you put your foot on the clutch. Okay, we've got a bit of sunshine and a bit of a break in the clouds. Not for very long, we'll just have to see. So let's go for a little drive. Well, so far so good. It feels very nice to drive. Nice light clutch. One of the things that I had read about the 159, which was detrimental, was a few people were commenting or criticising the gearbox in this car, which is the same gearbox that's fitted to the Brera. It's a 6-speed box, and compared to the gearbox that's fitted to the 156 and the GT, and I think the GTV as well, the 630 gearbox, this one feels much more precise. It feels much more notchy, which, you know, some people might like that, others may not. I find it feels quite satisfying. The changes are very positive, very snicky. They're snicking in and out. But I understand, you know, some people might not like the fact that it's quite notchy, and it feels like if you rushed it, it might be a little bit less willing to change smoothly. Anyway, I think it's okay. If that's the worst that the car's got to throw at me, then I'm quite happy with that. So what I'm doing now, oh, it's raining again now. Great, it's raining again. Thank you, January. Anyway, I'm going to give the car a little bit of a burn on a dual carriageway, just to see how it feels on like a long distance trip. And then I'll take it on a few of the lanes just to see how it feels on those. Weather forecast said sunny today. Yeah, sure. So this is my friend Gary's 159, which he's kindly allowed me to drive. Part of the reason why I wanted to drive this particular car is because it's not a fancy model. It's the 1.9 jtdm, which is got standard suspension. It hasn't got huge wheels. It's the kind of 159 that would have been sold most commonly in the UK, because obviously there are a lot of variants of the 159. There's the JTS petrol engine. There's the V6 3.2 litre engine with a 4-wheel drive system. There's also the 1750 TBI petrol turbo engine, which by all accounts is the most sporting drive, and that one can be very easily mapped to match the same power output as the 4C, which would make it a lot more fun. But this is the the car that would have been most commonly bought by people who wanted to use it for company cars, because obviously the tax benefits of a diesel engine 10 years ago were very pronounced. Not so much these days, but this is the most common car, so I wanted to drive this one because this is the one that most people will have had an experience of. Actually feels very nice, and this is no sort of garage queen pampered car. This car has done 125,000 miles, so it's done average mileage over the last 10 years, and I don't know how much money's been spent on it. It's a fairly new purchase for Gary, so I don't think he's spent a whole lot of money on it. But I'm surprised at how well it drives. The steering wheel feels rock solid, the wheels are balanced, it's comfortable, there's no rattles, it's a quiet cabin, all the controls seem to work okay. I'll test those out later. So far, quite nice, quite impressed. So this is 70 miles an hour, and the seat feels very comfortable. Driving position is good. I'm not sure whether the steering wheel is adjustable. I think it is. I might have to have a little fiddle with the driving position, and that'll annoy Gary when he gets back in the car. Sorry, Gary. Oh, first issue with the gearbox. I'm changing down for a roundabout, and I couldn't get it from 6th into 5th. It was being a bit awkward. Yeah, I find changing from 6th to 5th a little bit balky, a little bit notchy. It's made a lot easier if you double declutch. Just give the throttle a little blip while the clutch is depressed. I don't know about the clutch, I'm depressed. This weather's terrible. Obviously, another thing that hasn't escaped my attention is that the 159 with the standard 1.9 diesel under the bonnet is not exactly a ball of fire. I mean, my GT has got the same engine. In fact, I think it's the same year of manufacture, or just a year older than this 159. But my 1.9 has been remapped and has 175 horsepower and a fair bit more torque than standard. This car, Gary's tried to remap it actually, but for some reason that hasn't gone very well. Maybe some issue with the ECU, but this has a standard engine, and it's not that exciting, let's put it that way. But hey, what do you want? What do you want for a daily driver that's comfortable, that's very good looking, and by all accounts is very reliable? Now the weather forecast was supposed to be sunny today, so obviously that limits the amount of fun you can have when the rain is slashing down and everybody else on the road is driving carefully. Haha, that's a joke. That's definitely a joke. This video is all about how practical and what great value the 159 is at the moment. And as far as that's concerned, most of the people who will consider buying a 159, certainly a diesel engined 159, with the possible exception of the 2.4 litre, which is obviously a much more sporting diesel. But most people who buy the 1.9 diesel will be looking for a practical four-door daily driver. And that's certainly what this car is. It's a workhorse, but it's an extremely good-looking workhorse. Yeah, so the weather's getting worse, if that were possible. Yeah. Oh, the windscreen wipers seem to have a mind of their own. I'm assuming that there's a sensor which, when the wipers are on intermittent, it informs the wipers how often to wipe the window. And my experience of these systems is not great. The only one that I ever had that worked properly was on a Mercedes, but it seems to be very random, let's say. Okay, more wiping please. Thank you. So I'm on the North Devon Link Road at the moment, which is affectionately known locally as the Road of Death. Okay, that's enough Road of Death now. I think I'm going to turn around and head back. The only worry is, of course, this being the Road of Death, is it a bad idea to do a U-turn? Especially given the not terribly great turning circle of front-wheel drive Alfas. Ready? Go! Ah! Ah! Come on! Come on! They're catching me up! Oh, yeah. That's some serious acceleration right there. I'm almost doing 60 already. Woo! It's a good job the windows were up, otherwise I could have been sucked out the car. I'm off the Road of Death, and what I thought I might do is drive around a nice little Devon town and just see how the car feels around town, because that's what most people will be using this car for. Let's go. So when you're tootling around, parking, manoeuvring at low speed and the like, the steering on the 159 isn't the lightest. It actually feels quite firm. I wouldn't have described it as heavy steering, but it's certainly not light, one finger twirling the steering wheel kind of steering. It's a little bit more manly than that. Obviously when you're on the move, it's absolutely fine. It's well weighted. But yeah, just a tiny bit heavy, perhaps when you're manoeuvring and parking. You do feel, certainly on this car, I know that the driver's seat is adjustable for height, and this is kind of set in the middle. But compared to the low-slung driving position of a GT, for instance, which is generally a lower car, you feel like your backside's closer to the road in the GT. In this particular car, the 159, it feels the driving position is quite high. It feels as if you're sitting up quite high and you've got a good view of the road, which is all positive stuff. If you happen to be very short, for instance, that will be a good thing. What it does mean, however, is it means that it tends to feel a bit less sporty as a result. So if you're looking for a sporty feeling car as soon as you sit in it, then something like the GT fits that bill a lot better. The 159 certainly feels like more of a family car than the GT, and that's not just because it's got 4 doors, but because it feels more sensible. It feels a little bit more grown up and a little bit more level-headed. Do you need to collect children from school on a regular basis? Pick the 159, not the GT. The GT's got very comfortable rear seats, and the legroom is surprisingly good for a coupe, but it's a coupe, it's only got 2 doors. That gets old quite quickly. If you've got elderly parents to run around, or if you've got a dog, or you know, if you need to carry 4 people on a regular basis, or even 5 people, pick the 159. It's far more practical. Oh, there's lots of old people who don't like to indicate. Okay, I've had enough of that now. Let's go back to the studio. Now, do you remember me mentioning the nut roast earlier? Okay, so this is the deal. The nut roast is my car scoring system, and it's made up of these factors. Gorgeosity, basically how attractive the car is. The beautifully designed 159 scores a 4 out of 5 here. Performance scores on acceleration, top speed, power, etc. Oh dear, only a 2 here for the 1.9 diesel. Shopping ready is a measure of how practical the car is. The 159 tops the tree here at a whopping 5. Wallet attack rates how expensive the car is to buy and run. 159s are very cheap to buy currently, but they can be pricey to fix, so only a 3 I'm afraid. And feel good factor scores the car on how great it makes you feel when you own and drive it. The 159 is pretty, it's well built and it's comfortable, but the diesel 1.9 is not very exciting, so another 3 here. So in this first example, the Alfa 159 1.9 jtdm scores a respectable 17 out of 25. So there you go. I'm also looking forward to driving a performance version of the 159 soon. Oh, and by the way, if you want to know why ninjas love the 159 so much, then make sure you watch my next video, 8 hacks in 8 minutes. If you have an interesting, rare or exotic Italian car and you'd like me to feature it in a video, get in touch on chris@thealfanut.com. Now, it doesn't have to be an Alfa Romeo, as I'm interested in all Italian car brands, so give me a shout and tell me what you've got.